In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the merge sort technique. We're going to be using arrays, so we need to import java.util.arrays. So merge sort works by splitting the array into smaller and smaller sections until the sections are 1 or 2 length long. It sorts the length to sections, then merges those sections together into a sorted larger section. Merge sort requires recursion to solve, and it also has to create a temporary secondary array. Note, there are a lot less comparisons required, but it does require more swaps. So if this is our array, 9, 4, 5, 3, it's going to split into 2 smaller sections. So 9, 4, 5, 3. It's going to first sort this section, 9, 4, which becomes 4, 9. And then it'll then sort this section, which becomes 3, 5. Then it sorts these together into one array. It compares the 4 and the 3. 3 goes first. Then it compares the 4 and the 5. 4 goes first. Compares the 9 and the 5. 5 goes first. And then the 9 puts it into the last place. So let's look at another array, another example here, a little bit longer. So here's our array, 6, 5, 1, 10, 4, 9. So it gets split up into 2 halves. This half, this half. So, and then this is split up into 5, 6, and 1. So split up there, split there. The 5, 6 is sorted, and then the 1 is sorted. Then it merges them into 1. This is 3 are split in half, giving you a 4, 10, and a 9 section. It merges them. Then it merges these 2 halves together, comparing the 1 and the 4. 1's less. Compares 5 and 4. 4's less. Compares 5 and 9. 5 is less. Compares the 6 and the 9. 6 is less. And so the 9 and 10 are filled in. All right, so we create an array. We're going to sort it. We're going to also print out the number of comparisons and swap, because our merge sort method returns an array that is the number of comparisons and the number of swaps. We're also going to use the method merge sort show swap, which shows every single swap of the method as it runs. Now, merge sort, like I said earlier, requires recursion. So I initially call this method called merge sort, and then I have it called do merge sort. Setting the array 0, array length -1. The reason I do this is I only need to send one parameter to this method, which then does the rest of the work for me. Do merge sort, what this does, it takes an array, lower index and higher index. Does our merge sorting, which is our array. We have this, it increases the number of comparisons because we do a comparison, and then splits it up, finds the middle, and then does a merge sort of the lower left to middle, and then middle to the higher index. So that's the 2 halves it's splitting up. Do merge sort splits it up into these 2 halves, and then it's going to merge these 2 halves. So again, it's going to keep splitting, split, and then it'll eventually start merging the 2 halves that it splits up into parts. So merge parts, it's a little bit more complicated. Receives the array, this lower index, this middle and higher index. And all of this merges them. So it creates this temporary array and puts everything into this temporary array. So during that process, we have all these swaps. Then I keep track of lower index, this middle, and lower index again, this I, j, and k. If I is less than middle and j is less than higher, while this is happening, I increase my comparisons and swaps, because no matter what, I'm going to do a swap here. So if this is true, if temp merge array of I is less than temp merge of j, That means the value in index I is smaller, thus I put it back into my array at index k. Otherwise, the value in index j is smaller, and I put it into index k. So this while loop, what it's doing is it's constantly going to compare the value. So this is your I, this is your j. It's like, oh, who's smaller, I or j? Oh, I is smaller. So I moves up. Now it's comparing I to j. So this 5 to 4. Which one's smaller? Oh, the 4 smaller, j smaller. So now the I and j are now comparing. So it's constantly moving up, going through the whole thing. And if one of them finishes early, this while loop finishes the rest of them. This will finish up, moving it up all the way up to the end to finish the sort. In this case, that handles this 9 and 10, because you do the 1, the 4, 5, 6, and you got this 9 and 10 left, so it finishes it up for us. So that handles all of this. Now let's look at our show swap. Our show swap is slightly different. All we're going to do in our show swap is every single time we're doing this merge, we're going to print out our array. All right, so let's run this. Let's see what this looks like. So our unsorted here, and then our sorted. You can see the comparisons and swaps. So small number of comparisons, but a lot of swaps. It's because it has that second array that it's copying everything over into. Now let's look at what happens as it's sorting it. So we've got this unsorted 651 1049. So 5 6 is sorted. Then the 156 is sorted. The 410 sorted. 4910 is sorted. And then the whole thing is sorted. So you can see how it's splitting up into these chunks here, sorting everything. And that's how the merge sort works. And that is the end of this lesson.